All right, we're getting somewhere. We've got pastures with our productivity estimated, and we've got two herds with their demand estimated. So let's put them together. Let's say we want to graze our herd of heifers and bulls in this pasture here. How long would we expect that pasture to support these animals? Well, we know our forage supply is 380 AUMs, and our monthly forage demand from that herd is 245. So we take the 380 supply divided by the 245, which is demand, and that gives us 1.55 months, or 47 days. So this pasture will support that herd of heifers and bulls for about 47 days. Let's do that for the big pasture grazing the cows with their bulls. So we know this pasture produced 650 AUMs. We know our forage demand for that herd is 485. So we take our 650 supply divided by the 485 of the demand, and that gives us 1.34 months, or 40 days of grazing in this pasture with the cow herd. For our sub-irrigated pasture, let's say we brought both herds together. Let's say it's the end of the breeding season, but we're not going to bother pulling the bulls. They're all bred anyway. But let's put both groups together and put them on the sub-irrigated pasture. So we've got these two herds combined now. We combined our heifer herd and our cow herd. So we simply add the demand of those two herds together. Our supply goes on top, so 269 was our supply. And our new demand now is 730 is the combination of the two herds. So this herd can graze in that pasture for 0.37 months, or 11 days. So knowing what our supply is, knowing what our demand is, we can come up with the amount of time that those animals can graze. Another way to approach this is if I said, I know I have 269 AUMs in this pasture. How many cows can I support for 1 month? Well, if we remember that a cow-calf pair was about 1.5 AUMs when they're grazing, then if we did the 269 divided by 1.5, which is the forage demand for a cow-calf pair for 1 month, then that would tell me I could graze 179 cow-calf pairs in that pasture for 1 month. We could do the same thing for this pasture with our yearling heifers. We know we have 380 AUMs in this pasture. Let's ask, how many yearling heifers could I graze in there for 2 months? One yearling heifer, we said, had a forage demand of 0.75 AUMs for 1 month. So that means 2 months, she's going to have a forage demand of 1.50. So if I divided my 380 by 1.50, her forage demand for 2 months, then that tells me I could run 253 of those yearling heifers in this pasture for 2 months. So really knowing how to calculate supply and demand gives you a lot of power in budgeting your forage resources for the year.